Hello everybody and welcome back. So we're gonna finish up with a rubber material. Here we're just gonna create a new shader graph. It's gonna be rubber 130. And I'm gonna create the material. And we have the material rubber here. So we're gonna use the little bit same technique as we did on the metal. We're gonna also do on the smoothness to break it up, to not have the smoothness be. You see here it's very smooth and uniform, but here it breaks up a little bit. So that's what we're gonna do. So if we dive into the steel material, not the steel, we're gonna do the rubber material. So here we have the rubber material. And the first thing we're gonna do the same thing as we had with the last steel shader. So we're gonna have a noise size, and so the mode, we're gonna have a slider between 1 and 500, and we're gonna start at 50. So this is a noise size, and we're gonna have that into a simple noise. And we're also gonna have smoothness min. And this is gonna be a range, a slider between 0 and 1. And we just copy paste this one and do the max one. Like this. And that's gonna have a little bit more default value. So if you remember from the last tutorial, we're gonna have a remap. And we're gonna have a vector 2. So when we plug in this one here, we have a value between 0 and 1. So we're gonna remap the value between 0 and 1. And we want to remap it to be a value between smooth, min, and max. And here we have it in the smoothness. So this is the smoothness that we want. Perfect. So let's save it and check it out. We can actually just add a color first. We're gonna have, yeah, it's fine. We would do save. And if we check out here in the scene, and here we have it. So we need to go into rubber and the smoothness. So here you see already now, I think it looks really good already now. And we can have not that dark. So yeah, this looks rubber. Rubber, don't you agree? And now we're gonna add the lines to it. And that's a really good feedback when you work with stuff, especially when you twist it. So the way we're gonna do this, we're gonna make an, so how should I say? This rubber is UV mapped. So if you imagine this tile here, if I do like this rubber is unfolded and UV mapped. So if you imagine this is a UV map, right? So this one is UV mapped down here and UV mapped along like this. And then it's unfolded from this edge to this edge here. So what we need to do now, we need to do stripes along the, if we take the X value here, so it's from 0 to 1, you know, then we can do some lines using this X value because that's how it's UV mapped. So if we go in here again, if we pick up UV, and now if we do Swizzle, and we just gonna pick out number, well, the X, so X is the red, so that's why you see it's black here and white here. Like the red here, it's red and 0 and 1 here. And so in order to use, we're gonna use cosine, because cosine will go from value 0, -1 to +1, -1, +1. So we're going to use it like this. And we need to, so this is 0 to 1. And we need to multiply this to make the cosine do the waves we want. We need to multiply this one. And I'm going to have it in here like this. Because we need to multiply it with a constant. And the constant going to be the pi. Now, we have a half circle. So this is like a pi is 3.14. So here it's from 0 to 1. And now it's from 0 to 3.14, which means this will have like a hill going. Okay, so now it's 1, 0, and -1. And let's see. If we just do like this. So what we want here, we want to multiply this, because now we have a half circle value, right? So if we multiply this half circle with 10, now we have like 5 circles value. And if we do it here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because it's 1, -1, 1, -1, 1, -1. So this is really good. And now, if we just do smooth step, this one. The reason I like this one is because here you can kind of work with the it's like a curve in Photoshop. You can do an S-curve. So this is smooth step. So instead of having it linear, it kind of start smooth and go up strong. That's how I understand it, at least. So maybe I explain it wrong, but nevertheless, this is what I use. And if I do here and add, so now it's like 1 and 0 and below, and we need to make sure that we are not overshooting this. So we could, so now if it's like 2 here, now we floored it. If it's 0, if it's 1.1, we floored it down to 1, just to make sure that it's not going too small or too max. We're going to do a saturate, and the saturate is clamping it between 0 and 1. So this is our mask. So we have one color here, so this is going to be the color 1, and we're actually going to have 2, because if you remember the vertex color, we can actually have, if we do vertex color again and just plug it into the base color and look at it. So you see we have the vertex color, right? So we can use that to have different colors. So in the creases, it's going to be a little bit more dirty and then less dirty here. So the way we're going to do this here, we're going to have a lerp. It's going to be color 1 and color 2. So to make it easy to differentiate at the beginning, we can do color 1 can be like really light gray, and color 2 can be a little bit greenish. So that's fine. So it's green here. It's white here still, but we're just gonna take this vertex color and we're gonna just use one channel for it and plug it in here. Oh yeah, so let's see. So maybe I confuse a little bit, but these are for the lines, right? And before we apply the lines, I notice I'm doing two stuff at the same time, but these are the lines. So we have it ready to go here. We have the mask. And here we made the rubber. So if we focus on the rubber, I notice I'm a multitasker. I work on many places at the same time. But now you see we have the green and we have the gray down here. So if we look at the material, now we can decide maybe we want a little bit more dirty in the creases, you know? And then here we do a little bit more, the green should be a little bit more like this. Yeah, it's too much dirt here. Let's do it. Maybe like this. It's actually a little bit dark. We could do it a little bit more light. So yeah, this is so far. It looks good, doesn't it? And now we're going to do the stripes. So because we have the color here, now we can yet again do a lerp. So the base color is the color up here. So this is the colors we made, right? That's going to be the base. And whatever is black down here, going to be the base color because black is 0. So A is 0 and white is 1. So that's going to be this channel here. So then we just do a new color here. It's going to be color stripes. And if we put it here, and we can have the color stripes to be something like orange or bluish to not always use the same colors. So here we have the lines and let's see, we have 1, 2, 3 lines, maybe 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, here we can see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we have 5. So if we want to keep it at 90 degrees, I guess if we do, instead of, we do 5 loops, right? If we just do 4 loops, so we do 8 here. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 lines. So if we save now, I go back to the scene. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, now it's easier to calculate. So this is really nice. I like orange. I'm gonna go with that. And I'm gonna have a little bit more bluish rubber. So yeah, this is how you do it. And if you want smaller stripes, I would just go in here and you can tweak this one here. So do minimum. How should I do this one? $98, maybe $99. That's gonna be nice. So really small stripes. And let's say if you wanted to add noise to these stripes, you could add noise. And what I mean by that is if you just add some offset here, you can do noise. Then you just add, well, let's see, we already have it here, but we can do a remap. Remap, remap in, and it's going to be like this, and we're going to do negative 0.01 and 0.01 like this. So this is just a tiny offset of doing negative 0.01 and positive 0.01. So if we add it here, we get a tiny, tiny, tiny noise on this one. And that adds some more detail to everything. So this is how I did it. And let's check out the result. Yeah, the noise is too much, but you get the idea if you want to break it up a bit, you know. So I really hope you like this, and thank you so much for watching.